Welcome to another edition of Sitting with the Spitfires. We're here at the Windsor Star News Cafe, and Spitfires head coach Rocky Thompson and goaltender Michael DiPietro are nice enough to stop in. Kind of a busy week, Coach. I mean, once again, another goaltending change, and I know you thought at the start of the year you would find a mentor, sort of an overage goaltender to mentor with Michael, but you've sort of gone a little different direction now.
Well, I think we did. There was a couple of mentors that came in. They did a good job. Mikey was able to get the starts that he needed to get his confidence up, to ease his way into the league, and we accomplished that at that point. I think Mikey's done a great job in advancing himself over the course of this year, putting himself into a position that he was actually starting to challenge those mentors, and if anything, maybe outplaying them at the same breath. And as a result, Mikey's put himself in a great position here now to play heavier starts, to take ice time away from those other goaltenders, and it worked out as such that we felt that they could move on. We brought in Mario Kalina, and Mikey and Mario now are dueling it out in the crease, which is the way I personally like it. I think when you have competition at that position, it brings out the best of everybody. They're both great kids. They support each other. They're familiar with one another, as Mario was here a little earlier in the year and had a setback with a knee injury. Went to Sault Ste. Marie and played really well and has come back now. And both of them will be a tandem as we move forward.
It's been tough for you because I don't know if you grow tighter with a goaltending partner or not, and I mean, you've had different guys come in. Has that been tough at all for you?
Yeah, like I made some great relationships with the goalies that came in here, and it was tough to see them go, especially with Garrett. You know, he's been here for a while, and him and I have grown closer to each other. He's taught me a lot, actually, bringing what he puts in his game into my game. So, you know, it was tough to see him go, but I'm happy for him. He's closer to home. It was a ways away for him, so I understand where he's coming from, and I just wish him all the best. But now Mario and I are gonna, like Coach said, battle in the crease, and we'll support each other. Like everyone, both my goalie partners that I've had, we all support each other. So, just keep going with it.
Do you see this as an opportunity?
Yeah, you know, just see it as an opportunity that I need to take advantage of. You know, nothing is given in the league at all, so I just have to keep playing my game and hopefully get as many starts that I can.
I mean, best goals against average, best save percentage, best wins amongst any 16-year-old in the league. Did that surprise you at all for him to come in with those numbers?
Well, it did, because really I didn't know who was who. It was my first day on the job when I got here, really, outside of what I had been told and Mikey's background basically in minor hockey coming up. But you never know what it's going to be like until you're faced with the situations that you have when you come into the Ontario Hockey League. So we came in with a clean slate, and Mikey exceeded my expectations, which is great. And like I said, I think we've handled him the proper way, allowing him to gain confidence as he's gone into the crease. We have great goaltending consultants that have worked with him, and he has had as he's been growing up, obviously. And you can see the fruits of those labors coming out. Mikey's a great student, and he works extremely hard, not only on the ice but off the ice. And I think that helps expedite, you know, his progression as a goaltender. And as we've seen that, we've been using him more and more in key situations. He's beat the Kitchener Rangers, which have been rated in the top 5 in the nation in the CHL consistently throughout the year, and he's played great in those situations. He's gone into other teams' barns. His very first win in the Ontario Hockey League was in Sault Ste. Marie, a team that was an absolute powerhouse last year that always has a carryover effect, especially at the start of the season. He went into a hostile environment, and we ended up winning. I believe it was in overtime. For him to earn his first win, which was outstanding. So you could see some of those steps being taken very early this year already.
I don't think people realize, I mean, you haven't played goal for a decade yet, right? I mean, you started out as a defenseman. It was your brother who convinced you to switch over, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever look back and you know, does he owe you anything, or do you owe him anything for making that switch?
No, I think it was always a competition, like who could be the best goalie in the house kind of thing. And, you know, we always want the best in each other. Somehow I was always stuck in that playing road hockey because he always wanted to shoot on me. So, you know, it's always been a competition between us, but, you know, he's always there at every game that he possibly can. So it's awesome to have him there.
What was the transition like going from defense to goal? Were there some rough nights?
Yeah, rough nights. You know, hard to skate in those goalie skates for the first time, but, you know, I got used to it, and I'm happy, very happy I made the switch.
It's, people talk about the playoffs and things like that coming up, but I mean, it's already been a really long year for you, from the OHL Cup last year to going to Canada Games. You've had under 17 this year. You get any wear and tear for you at all from that long process?
No, I just take it as a blessing. Not a lot of kids get the opportunity, and if you start feeling sorry for yourself or start finding excuses why you're not playing good, I think it's a bad habit to develop, because as you grow up, then you start pointing fingers at someone else and not yourself. You got to look in the mirror, and that's the person who, you got to beat every day, and you always got to keep trying to improve. So, I don't try to find excuses in anything in life. So, I take it as a blessing, and hopefully I'm more privileged to get that more opportunities.
I know you and Brian Spearing from the S01E03s have a long relationship, but I mean, you've had Paul Billing this year, you've had Red Wings coach Jim Bedard come over with you, you work with the Hockey Canada people. All those different coaches, I mean, do you just try to take a little bit in from each one of them and try and learn from that, or do you have your sort of own approach that you want to take?
Yeah, you don't want to completely change your game, because the game was what you got you here, but you want to add tools to your toolbox. My goalie coach back home, Brian, always tells me that. Take a little bit from each one and apply it to your game to improve yourself. Like, don't always take criticism hard, because it can be constructive and can eventually improve you. So, like I said, it's awesome to take things from other people and learn new things to apply in my game, because these people know a lot, and I'm lucky to be around them.
It's funny, a lot of players come in, and when it's their hometown, they find it a lot more difficult to play at or near their hometown because of the pressure. No pressure, I mean, you don't seem like the pressure's affected you at all this year.
No, I think pressure is really what you make of it. If you let it get to you, then that's when you start drifting away from your game. You start reading those tweets. You start reading the newspaper. If you just block that out, I think you'll be fine. And especially, I love playing in my hometown. I get my parents nice and close. Friends and family come out to the games to see me. So I'm really blessed to be able to be so close. But also, it gives me a sense of growing up. I don't live at home, so it gives me a chance to grow up a little bit faster than my buddies. But like I said, I'm nice and close to home, so I can easily go home and go see my parents, which I'm lucky to do.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that you were that unique number 64, but there's a reason you have number 64 in the lineup.
Dad's birth year. He drove me around ever since I started, defense or goalie. So it's just been him and I in the black truck. So 1964 was his birth year, and I really couldn't do that in minor hockey. We're 64, so I thought making the switch over here, why not? Why not pay a tribute to him and really show him that I really appreciate it.
Warren's talked, even though that you've gone with Mario Kalina now, that he still wants to sort of monitor his minutes, monitor his games. I mean, do you feel the same way as far as going forward with Mike?
Well, I feel confident, Mikey, in any situation. I think he's proved himself over the course of this year. Like I said, early in the year, we just tested him and put him in the situations we felt that would help make him succeed in his progress. And then, in the last little bit, we've stepped it up more and gave Mikey a heavier load to see how he would handle it. And again, he responded well. Mikey had a tough game a couple of weeks back, and it was a learning experience. That happens with every goaltender. And he had a great bounce back game, and he didn't let it affect him. And that's important when you're a goaltender, because you're going to have off nights, you're going to have situations that come, and sometimes it's bad bounces, whatever, but how you deal with it mentally is important, because the situation for you to rebound that next game, especially when you come into a playoff situation, there might be one night where things just don't happen, but how do you respond to that? Because just that one game doesn't always have to define you, especially when you get looking at a playoff series.
It's kind of funny. I mean, last year I'm sure you had a few games at the WFCU Center where you're on the auxiliary rinks and not really a known guy, and now you're. Is it different going out in the public? Because I mean, you do the appearances and things like that, and people know who you are now. And I mean, I'm sure the autograph seekers are out there like everywhere else.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when people notice you when you're walking around. But my favorite is the little kids. I love being around them. I love helping them out with their fan skate. Because they brighten up your day, because it really brings you back why you really play hockey. Now it's just on a bigger scale, but you still play the game because you love it. And it's just looking at the little kids playing. Even if you go to the local rink at 6:30 in the morning, you see them all dressed up before they even get to the rink in their gear. It just brings a smile to my face. And that's probably the best part, is when those little guys recognize you and they want to talk to you and just be around you, and that's really touching.
Have your goals changed from where you came in at the start of the year to what you want to accomplish by the end of the year?
No, my goal is come in, do the best I can, and help the team win, and I think I've done that so far. But like I said, we're halfway through the season. We still got half a season to go. Hopefully, we can make a deep run in the playoffs. Our goal is to win like a Memorial Cup, and sometime, hopefully, I can get to do that in my years here.
You've seen some different changes now with Brendan Lemieux coming in and now Cotter Chatham coming this. Does that excite guys in the dressing room?
Yeah, obviously, you don't like seeing guys go in the room. It sucks. But adding those guys to our lineup is really something special, and they're really quite good. So Brendan's played really well for us. He's great goal scorer, and Connor's come in, worked hard in practice today, got me a couple times on the glove. So he's a really good player, and I'm excited to see what the team has to offer.
Going down the stretch, I mean, you talk about a battle, is it a 50-50 thing sort of down the stretch and see what happens come playoff time? Or?
Yeah, right now, exactly. Like the competition, I think it rises both guys up. And I don't, especially at their age, they're both young, that I don't have to declare a number one or play somebody in that position, because both are playing well at this point. And whoever continues to play well is going to get the opportunity to continue to play.
I appreciate it. Well, thanks for stopping in again, guys. That's going to do it for this episode, and I appreciate you guys stopping in for it. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rocky.
Thanks, Lip.